There's a war going on, the books can't escape from the team. Call the morning steam, it's time to break, run for cover. Bet's gonna cover, bet's gonna cash. And we make the 100-yard dash through the window. I don't know what you thought, it's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA, stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam, Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
Final.
All right, a pleasant good morning to you on this holiday Thursday. Welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for June 19th. Good to have you here for some Major League Baseball today. And of course, tonight, NBA Finals action, game number 6 in Indianapolis between the Thunder and the Pacers. Get ready for a big game tonight, but we got plenty of baseball today, especially yesterday following our rainouts. So we've got some couple of doubleheaders. Some of the games we made up at a later date, but still got a couple of doubleheaders here to roll, starting early here in just a couple of hours to get the weekend started here, maybe for some of you. Get a jump start on it with our holiday today. So thank you for joining me here on a Thursday and welcome to the show. Let's get right to it. Say hello to some folks as we kind of go over the action from yesterday and some tennis rolling in here this morning. Man, maybe some upsets coming on the grass courts today. I'm a little tilted already. And we've got our first move of the day here as well in the WNBA. Some steam coming in here with Phoenix and Connecticut. How about this one? Total moving higher here at a 163 or so on a little move to the over with tonight's WNBA game between Phoenix and New York. We're seeing this one move higher here right now. Was as low as 162 on the opener, but we're seeing it as high now as 164 here today with Phoenix and New York today, and we'll preview a little of the action there. How did your sports betting day go here on Wednesday? Of course, we had baseball mostly. Let's take a look and recap some of the action from yesterday in Major League Baseball and see how all the folks did. But first, say hello to the folks in the chat all-stars. Hello, stars, including Cash Kane here today. Flea Mathis is here as well. Robert McCormick here today. Andrew K is here. Nuke says, like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money here on YouTube. Cliff Floyd here today. Great to have Cliff Floyd, JW. Thank you for coming in today. And we also have here, I think that's it for everybody right now. Let's look at some of the action finals from yesterday's action. Ooh, man, steam rolling in here this morning. Looks like Pittsburgh getting steamed here with the Scooble game here. Let's see and make sure I have the right game here with the double headers, but we're seeing a move right now to the Pirates here in their game against Detroit. A little bit of steam here with Pittsburgh and Haney up against Scooble. It was as high as 320, but now we're seeing it maybe dip here to under 300 at some of the spots. With that, everybody wanted to see the big matchup between Skeens and Scooble. Maybe it is. Maybe there's a move for that, but not really. Apparently the two stars will pitch in separate games here today. All right. Just taking a look at that actually here, because we're still kind of waiting the matchup there in game number 2. So a little bit of steam though there right now in Pirates and Detroit game 1. All right. Let's cover some of the games from yesterday and check out the wins and losses with our action here. It was Philadelphia and Miami. We did have a winner here on the show yesterday with the under in that one, in the 4-2 win for Philadelphia on the road. And also a winner yesterday with the Colorado Rockies. Again, how about it? We rolled with the Rockies yesterday on the money line, and that one against Washington, and they were able to win it 3-1. So we scored there at plus $1.30, $1.35 or so with Colorado there yesterday. And trying to find the winners, man, rough one for me yesterday. We did have Tampa Bay. How about that one? As the Rays scored 12 runs, 12 unanswered runs to win the game, 12-8 over the Orioles. They were down 8-0. Came back to get that win over Baltimore yesterday with those big inning there yesterday for the Tampa Bay, and they were able to come back and get that win. Well, we had that one for sure. Like, put that one in the old pink marker here with that comeback. Also, we had Kansas City as our premium pick winner over Texas yesterday with our sports money premium 6-3 over the Rangers. We also had Cleveland as our pick on the show yesterday with Logan Allen in the win over San Francisco 4-2. We also had a pick over at Tony's Picks with my premium picks over there on the under in that game with Cleveland and San Francisco. And that was it for me for the winners in baseball. A little bit rough around the edges for sure yesterday. All right. Also, there was one game last night in the WNBA, and it was Phoenix getting the win over Connecticut, 83-75. But Connecticut was the team that got the money there in that one. All right, a little bit of steam just as we were coming on the air as well in the matchup tonight between Cleveland and San Francisco. Moved to the over here, I should say, this afternoon as part of our, there's games all day if that's your sort of thing, which it is for most of us. So we have games, like I said, that begin here just in a couple of hours with that first start between Minnesota and Cincinnati. I think actually the first start of the day, and then continuous action all day long, no breaks. That's good enough for me. And hopefully you were able to join me yesterday on the Nuke the House channel. I was on there with Holden Kushner as we talked baseball, and I'll be over there today. So we have great coverage here on the Sports Money Network tonight with Oklahoma City and Indy there. And congratulations also to the winners in the ribeye contest there yesterday. My play got rained out, and well, I just never got a chance to put another play in. So I think I might have finished in last in the ribeye contest there in the postseason. Congratulations to the winners of the contest. I don't know who they are, but I'm sure we have them available. Maybe I can get them here for us. All right. And let's take a look here right now at some folks in the chat. And we'll just get ready to start the show. not much going on there in the chat. Yeah, we got 3 dozen of you here. I guess we can kind of get rolling and get started here today with our card. There's also 2 games in the WNBA tonight as well, and also 1 in the CFL too. So we got some fun here to go on the show here today. Also, the big news overnight wasn't really late news, but the Lakers were sold to Mark Walter, the co-owner of the Dodgers and the Guggenheim Group, as the Lakers were basically sold for a record $10 billion, as the Buss family will be out of the basketball business, except Jeannie Buss will keep her job as governor of the team. She'll retain 15% ownership in that one. So Lakers here will be bought by the man who currently owns the Dodgers. He also owns some other properties. He's part owner of Chelsea as well. So they won all those championships with the Buss family, even though it's been a little bit thin over the last few years, decades, if you will. With the Lakers, they don't win them like they used to, but a record $10 billion sale, and the Buss family out of the basketball business. All right, let's get rolling with the show here. No reason to wait on our holiday show here today. Golf is underway, tennis is underway as well. And let's get ready with our previews here right now and start it off with the game tonight here, of course, between the Thunder and the Pacers. Here with the Thunder favored by 6.5. I guess this line could be moving back to a little bit closer at 6.5. I imagine if Tyrese Halliburton is announced that he will be in the lineup, which, I think it's reasonable to expect that he will make this lineup here tonight. With his injury, that calf injury that kind of slowed him in the last game, or late last game anyway. Apparently it's been a problem for the last 3 games, but we're really just kind of noticing it now that the report has come out that questionable for tonight's game with that injury, but getting round the clock training, and he did practice yesterday, so do have a likelihood that Halliburton can make the lineup. But how effective can he be after scoring just 4 points in the last game for Indiana? It was a rough stretch for sure in that one. So we'll see how that affects here. But again, you still have an Oklahoma City team that really has not covered the spread on the road over the last 10 games or so, maybe even 11, right? Definitely have trouble getting the number on the road. That's been part of their mystery or misery here in the postseason, if you can call it that. They're still in charge in the series here, and obviously could wrap it up here tonight with the win. And for the Pacers at home, hey, they're still pretty effective. I mean, they've won 15 of their last 20 games at home. They've beaten Oklahoma City in 6 of the last 9 times the 2 teams have played. And I think the thing there, the Thunder and this very poor record on the road, it took all that they had, basically, it felt like, just to get the cover, really. At the end of that game, right? I mean, they were almost about to lose the game before they kind of turned it up and turned it on and were able to get that win and cover there. So, all right, we'll go to the chat here in this one and see what you have in the NBA Finals here tonight with the Thunder and the Pacers. Oklahoma City's won 8 of their last 11 games coming in, and they've covered a few spreads here in the series so far. Let's go to the chat. Well, nobody's really, again, this is the NBA Finals, so the chat really probably not going to come through with very many plays. I mean, everyone's real nervous to make a pick here. You don't want to be wrong. It's the NBA Finals after all. Here's Cash Kane is going over, and Nuke says he thinks the Pacers will lose, but they can still get the money here.
System playing.
Like I said, it felt like for the Thunder, they did all that they needed to do to get just enough to get the win there. It felt like in the last game, remember, in the 120-109 victory at OKC. They were favored by 9 or so and won by 11 points. So, hey, a cover is a cover there. More so, the game that was played, remember, in Indiana, they won it by 7 and were able to cover the spread there by 1 point. So it's actually been 2 straight covers for Oklahoma City, including the last game here. That's the one really where I meant that they were not covering the game, remember, and then surged to get the cover basically at the last moments as they not only came back to win the game, but they tacked on some points on the end to get the money. It was still very, very tough just to get the win, but in the end, some extra free throws there, and they were able to get the money. Okay, that's maybe it from you guys. Not much opinion from the chat all-stars in this one. They're a little bit shy because it's tough, man, right? Game number 6 here right now, and the Thunder leading 3-2. So, hey, no problem. I still respect the chat. Maybe they're keeping their picks a secret here tonight. All right, I'm going to make a pick then. I'm going with the under here with Indiana and Oklahoma City. We've seen this one trickle down already from an opener of 225 down to 221.5 here at some spots, maybe 222 here. Robert is going with the Pacers here tonight. Thank you for a pick, Robert. I feel you and Nuke, the only ones willing to take a stab here at this one. There's Justin in the chat. Oh man, Justin was terrific yesterday on a show. We're starting to see more of Justin, maybe my new teammate here. Good morning to Justin in the chat as well. So, hey, look, I want this one to get extended. I don't know if the Pacers can win the game without a healthy Halliburton here. Let's hope he can. I would imagine if he's in that he'll have a better game at home, but still, when you are slowed with a calf injury and you're averaging 15 points and 6 rebounds and 7 assists here in the finals, can you even get those numbers after what you did on the road in that last game? So we'll see. Justin's got a prop here. He says take Siakam over 21.5 points. That would be great news there, right? If Siakam could have a strong game here, considering the injury to Halliburton. So Top Set here today as well. Good to see Top Set with us here in the chat today. So, all right, Pacers here. Hey, the game went over last game, but the last game here in Indiana was an under,
Final.
and also game number 3 here in Indiana was also an under. So for me, I'm going to go under here. I think I've been over in all 5 games so far, which would not be. That would be 2 and 3. I'm trying to think. I don't think I was. I think I've gone over every game, but this is where I've turned, and I'm going with the under after taking, I think, over in every game here so far. So give me the under tonight at 222 here. like I said, the two of the games that did go under were here at Indiana. So, okay, just want to see if anybody else wants to chime in. But I know in baseball, when we talk baseball here in a moment, everybody will be ready to make some picks. Just everybody real nervous about tonight's game number 6 here with Indiana and OKC. Give me the under tonight. All right, nothing else from the chat, man. We could spend more time on it, but well, no need if no one has any opinions here. Let's move on to the baseball. We got plenty of games to cover today. Enjoy the games tonight. I will be over on the Nuke the House channel for the basketball game tonight. I'll miss my buddies here on the Sports Money Network. I believe we have coverage tonight here on the channel. And probably with Razor. I just haven't quite seen it yet. I want to thank everybody over in the chat with the community standings here with Justin, Cash Kane, Nuke, Andrew K, Robert, Topset, Andrew G, Cliff Floyd, and the likes. All right, let's go to baseball. See if we can't find some winners on the diamond here on Thursday. And we'll get started early here with the Twins. Hopefully I get these pitchers right. Some of the changes here. Now, the Twins and the Reds did have their game yesterday. They were able to get the game in yesterday, but it only went 6 innings. The final score there was 4-2 in favor of the Reds. So the Reds win the second straight game here in this series, following the 6-5 win in Game 1. Now to be Chris Paddock. The Sheriff is on the mound here in this one. Uh-oh. Just knocked off the oops. All right, technical issue here. Let me get rolling here with some of the numbers with these pitchers, with Paddock going up here against Martinez in this one. After the Reds won the first 2 games of the series here, you do have Paddock coming in with a 4.3 ERA, 1.2 the whip. 264 BABIP here. Paddock is 2-6 so far this season. Minnesota is just 3-11 with Paddock on the mound, but the Reds and Martinez, they're 4-10 with him on the mound, and they're 4 games over 500. So Martinez has had a few rough patches here for sure, but nonetheless, the Reds are the much hotter team right now of the two teams. The Twins, as hot as they were, have started to go into a little bit of a spin here of late, having lost 8 of their last 10. Meanwhile, the Reds have won 8 of their last 10 games. Coming into this one, as we take a look at some of the trends for these two, Minnesota has lost 5 in a row right now. They've also lost 4 of the last 5 games against the Reds overall, although they have gone over in 4 of those games. They're also 2-4 here at Cincinnati in the last 6 games overall. Cincinnati's won 9 of their last 11, actually. I stand corrected. And they've won 5 straight games at home coming into this one. Reds have gone over in 5 of their last 6 games overall coming into this one. This one's at 12:40 Eastern and 4:40 Pacific in this one. And well, I'm going to go with the over here with Minnesota and Cincinnati today. That'll be my play with these two. I'm not too sure about these starting pitchers, but I think the Reds are going to end up putting up some runs here right now on their pretty strong streak. Let's just call it for what it is. The Reds are the little bit of a hotter team here coming into this one. Here comes plenty of comments from you guys, man. Right? You guys love the baseball. Who wants basketball tonight? Nobody. Justin's got a prop here on the Correa on the road here. Andrew's watching some tennis action here today. Are seeing some steam come in here right now on the game this afternoon between Milwaukee and Chicago. We're seeing that one trickle up here as well on some widely reported steam. It is Mizrowski Day if he gets his own day here. I believe Mizrowski's still going to be in there following the rain out yesterday against Tyone. Let's see what that line has moved to here with that steam coming in. It's up to 8/20, maybe. I'm seeing 8.5 under 15. I'm seeing some 8.5s also there right now, Milwaukee and Chicago. Cash Game likes the Twins in this one and the over. Twins over here for Justin as we celebrate our holiday here today. And Gorky was going to take Cleveland today, but he did not do it. Robert is on the Reds in the first 5. Andrew says take the Twins in this one. Nuke says the Twins are a bit of a slump here right now, and he'll try the Reds here in this one. I'll take the over. Okay, let's continue on here with our next matchup. Colorado is on the road taking on the Nationals here in this one, 105 Eastern, 10:05 Pacific, and it's the Colorado Rockies that are on a 4-game winning streak right now, and they were playing long ball yesterday in Washington, sending the balls out of the yard. 6 home runs for the Rockies there yesterday in that convincing victory on Tuesday, and they followed it up with a win yesterday, 3-1. So hey, they can win it with a long ball, and they can win it with the pitching as they did yesterday. It probably is more on the Nationals here. They've lost 11 straight games, and it is tail spinning here for the Nats. Somehow they're a $1.55 favorite or higher here in this one. I think I see it there, right there, $1.58. Oh, let me see if I can point it out here. Where is it at? $1.58 for the Nationals here on the card. There's all the game times for today. Look, we're going to be at 12:40, 1:05. These are Pacific times there. That moved on me right there. But so yesterday, man, this Washington team in a big tailspin right now. You got Dolander here on the mound for the Rockies. Dolander here, 6.57 ERA. He's 2-7 on the season. But, hey, these Rockies weren't very good. They're still not very good, but this is a high point of the season right now for the Rockies on this winning streak. They have won the first 3 games of this series. They beat Atlanta also to start this little winning streak right now. For Trevor Williams here in this one, he comes in here with an ERA of 5.71 and a 1.4 whip, 327 BABIP. So look, he's not any better than Dolander statistically here, I would think. Maybe his ERA is a little better, but doesn't feel like he's any better than this prospect for Colorado here. So let's see how you guys are playing this one today with Colorado taking on the Washington Nationals. And hey, I mean, why not come in on Colorado again? Hey, could they get 5 wins in a row here? I'd rather have Colorado, I think, the way things are going. I had them yesterday against the Nationals. So, look, today they're plus $1.30 or so, $1.35 maybe on the money line here. And, well, let's just try to roll with them again right now. This team's hot, and it's been fun for Colorado. I'll take them plus $1.35 or so. Take a look at some of the trends maybe for this matchup, but hey, all you need to know is in that 4-game winning streak for the Rockies right now. All right, Colorado comes in here. Not only that, but they've Also won 4 out of the last 5 meetings against Washington, including these last 3 games in a row. They've done well here. Colorado just 8-16, their last 24 on the road, but this is about as good as they've been all year, and the Nationals just can't fix whatever's ailing them right now. In fact, interestingly enough, they've actually at home gone 2-9 on the run line in the last 11 games at home against Colorado. Now, the run line for Colorado is minus $1.50 today, so maybe that's a little hefty, but if you want to maybe take that security there, I don't mind it either. I'll just take the money line, but hey, I might split it up with a little run line. Maybe they'll win the. Maybe Washington will win that first time in 11 games here right now. Let's go to the chat. See what you guys have in this one. Everyone chiming in. All right. Let's see here. Justin's got the Rockies game to go over here today. And Cash King says this has to be the Nationals money line. They've got to, and this team is good enough to end an 11-game losing streak right now. They've fallen all the way to 30-44. All right. And Jerry says it ends tonight. Robert has the over here in this one with Colorado and Washington. Cash Kane says the Nationals win by 2.5 runs. Nuke says, imagine a team that's lost 11 in a row favored by $1.50, $1.60 there. Damon Waring. Nice to have Damon here in the chat today. Good to see you, Damon. All right, I'm taking Colorado. You're right, Nuke. I mean, come on. Maybe they will, and they're at home, they're favored, they should win, but I can't do it either. Hey, we've been on Colorado here a little bit. Let's keep rolling with them. Next up is the Angels on the road here against the Yankees with Anderson here for the Angels going up against Carlos Rodon. A couple left-handers here this afternoon with Tyler Anderson here on the mound. He comes in with a record of 2-4, but interestingly enough, the Angels are 9-5 with Anderson on the mound this season. He's got a 4.44 ERA, but man, he's got run support too, right? 1.37 WHIP. 249 batting average against a 270 BABIP. Now, Carlos Rodon has some pretty good numbers here, a 3 ERA, 178 batting average against. The line here is a little bit higher than this that I show on the screen right now. I'm probably going to call it the 260 minimum, but I think even the square books are a little bit higher, 275 or so. And the total in this one is now 9.5 under 20, or I would say. A little bit of steam here to the over for sure in this one between the Angels and the Yankees. But man, Rodon, pretty solid. The Yankees are 4-11 with Rodon on the mound so far this season. That widely reported steam did come in on the over, but man, with Rodon's numbers, it would take a pretty strong effort from the Angels offensively. Now, they are the hot team coming in here. We're not going to lump the Yankees necessarily into the Washington Nationals category, but the Yankees are on a losing streak here. The Yankees have lost 6 games in a row right now as the funk continues for this team and this offense right now. Following yesterday's game, the Angels were able to beat them again, 3-2. So Angels come in here and have won the first 3 games of this series, playing some pretty strong ball. They've won 10 of their last 15 games overall. The Angels are 13-6 in their last 19 games on the road. They've won 5 straight games in Yankee Stadium here. So, given the fact that, hey, Anderson he's got a winning record against these Yankees here. I mean, gosh, I've got to think that they could stay in here again. This is the old plus game, it feels like right now for the Angels. You know, they are plus 1.5 at plus $1.20. Yankees have gone under in 7 straight. 6 straight meetings between these two teams have gone under as well. Let's go to the chat here in this one, see what you like between the Angels and the Yankees here today. Blue is here today. He likes the under. Good morning to Blue. Tariq says the Yankees. Can you believe the Yankees are on the no bet list somewhere? Cash Kane says Yankees money line over and Judge can hit a home run despite his awful slump here right now. You know, Bellinger hit a home run yesterday, but it's hard to, you can pitch around Judge when Bellinger isn't performing well, but, well, he did have a homer in the game yesterday, so let's see. Tariq says he's taking both the Yanks and the Nats. We know. Here's Andrew K. He's on the Yankees, and Robert does like the over here in this one. I'm going to go with the Angels here on that run line. Hey, an old wise man said, hey, when you can take that plus, that's always a good move. The Angels plus 1.5 at plus 125. I got to take them here. Give me the Halos on the run line. Next up, this is game 1 of a doubleheader today between the Pirates and the Tigers. Now, this one does have I don't know if it's really been adjusted too much. I just mentioned the steam kind of came in on Pittsburgh, but it only moved the line down from as high as 345 maybe to about 315 here right now. Just keep it 325. There's some square books at 325 with Tariq Skubal on the mound going up against Andrew Haney in game 1 of the Twin Bill here. Now, it is getaway day, so got to squeeze both these in. Otherwise, the Pirates would have to come back and face the Tigers later on this season if they didn't. So, anyways, in this one, you've got Bucks here with Heaney on the mound. Look, I mean, he can be okay, I would think, in this role. He's got a 3.33 ERA. He's got a fine matchup here to go up against Skubal. It's just the Bucks. They've lost 3 in a row here. Yesterday rained out, obviously. The first game of the series, though, was 7-3 in favor of Detroit. And, of course, got to look at this one more, probably on the run line because of this big line here today. What can you say, right? For Haney coming in here, he's got a record of 3-5. Pittsburgh's 5-9 with Haney on the mound. They're also 3-10 to the under with Haney on the mound this season. The Pirates are 11-23 to the under on the road. Detroit's 13-23 to the under at home. The widely reported steam did come in on the under here, and total currently sits at 7 under at minus 120. For Detroit's Tariq Skubal, what can you say about Skubal here? 1.99 ERA. I know we talked a little bit yesterday about this matchup. We don't need to go too much in depth, but 0.8 whip, 197 batting average against. And the Tigers are 10-4 with Skubal on the mound. Pittsburgh comes in having lost 4 of their last 5 games. Meanwhile, Detroit's won 13 of their last 20 overall. Detroit's gone over in 5 of their last 6 games with the Pirates here, but got 2 pretty good left-handers for sure. One superstar, and another one that continues to defy expectations here. As Haney's got good numbers, Let's go to the chat a little bit and see what you got here on this one. And we'll start it off with Cash Kane. He's talking about Anderson in his matchup with the Yankees today. Pirates team total under for Tariq here in this one, under for Cash Kane. And Nuke says, why can't we have good things? That's what he says about the potential of a matchup between Haney, between Skubal, obviously, and Paul Skeens. What a matchup that would be, right? They can't do it. These dumb managers. All right. Hey, I got to try the under in this one with Haney and Skubal. Probably just as a free play here. And that's what I'll take here on the Morning Steam Show. Give me the under in this one. All right. Let me just fill in some blanks here real quick. Okay, sorry about that, gang. And Nuke says can't even take the Tigers here, -1.5 in this one. Blue is on the under here. I'll take the under with blue. Okay, let's keep it rolling right now. We've got another doubleheader. And look, I know the doubleheaders are a little bit tough too because you don't know what's going to happen with sometimes on the second game. But anyways, let me make sure I got the pitching matchup right here for game one of this next one between the White Sox hosting the Cardinals here with Fetty. He's going up against Sean Burke here in this one for Fetty. Coming in, Fetty has a 3.65 ERA, 1.27 the whip, 231 batting average against, and a 260 BABIP for Burke here. He's 3-7, 4.71 ERA. The Cardinals are 4-10 with Fetty on the mound. Meanwhile, the White Sox with Burke, they're 6-6 when Burke starts. Who is the better team here in this one? Cardinals favored on the road. The widely reported steam did come in on the over here. That number's a little bit stale. In fact, I don't know if it was ever 8 over, but right now it is 9 under at -115 here with St. Louis and the White Sox. As a widely reported steam did come in on the over in this game, kind of moving it a little bit higher here. We've seen the Cardinals put up that big number earlier in the series. They had a 12-run outburst against St. Louis. The White Sox come in here on a losing streak once again, so they've fallen to 23-50 overall. Cardinals haven't been great either, though. They've lost 7 of their last 10 games, coming in 7 of their last 9. Actually, they've lost coming into this one. White Sox have lost 6 straight. So both teams kind of clunky here right now. We know the White Sox have been clunky all year, but hey, getting a little bit of a decent line here, I think, with the White Sox on the run line, and the Cardinals struggle with Fetty, actually, with that win percentage. Cardinals have gone over in 8 of their last 10 games at home. 12 of the last 18 meetings between these two teams have gone under, but I'm going to take the White Sox here, plus a 1.5 in this one, in this doubleheader here. Cardinals, remember, we're on a good streak, but all of a sudden they have won 2 of their last 3 games. Like I said, the game on Tuesday was a 12-2 in favor of the Cardinals, but game one, I'm going to grab the White Sox here in this one. Comments from the chat, probably not too much here. We got Blue says take the Cardinals here, and both teams struggling here, says Nuke right now. All right, let's continue on here with our next matchup. It's going to be the Milwaukee Brewers on the road taking on the Cubs following a rainout yesterday. Now, these two teams will just play one game. They're going to make up the rainout, I believe, I want to say it's in August. Hope I have it right here anyway. In this one, you've got Jacob Mizorowski here. Hey, Gorky's here. Nice to see Gorky in this one. Thank you for the dono for Gorky. Thank you. He says, make sure you touch on the game between the Diamondbacks and the Jays. That one's coming up for sure. 9 legacies here today. Cardinals on the run line, Yankees on the run line, Tigers on the run line, Twins money line, and Nationals run line. Getting caught up there in that one. Brewers money line for 9 legacy in this one with Jacob Mizorowski on the mound, the rookie who was awesome in his first start. But oh man, where's the graphic? I'm sorry, you guys. Here's Robert Brewer's first 5. Oh, I got to type in Mizorowski here because I had. Okay, there we go. Because I still had Peralta in there because of the rainout. So currently the line is Cubs minus 130 and 8.5. It feels like we're seeing a little bit of a move here in this game, but let me just flash it on the screen here and get the right graphic up here. All right. Make sure we spell Mizorowski right. All right, the rookie was awesome in his first start. We were able to touch on it, touch on him a little bit. We touched on this matchup yesterday, so I won't belabor it too much here. Now, I will say this. Yesterday, we did have Milwaukee as our pick, but with the delay, I don't know if I'm going to be doing the same. It was interesting though. Yesterday was $1.45, and today it's $1.30. So look, I don't want to say that the line dictates everything here, but will Mizorowski have the same type of performance at home as he did on the road, where he didn't give up a hit before he was removed from the game with an injury? Don't forget. He sprained his ankle. Well, I don't think it was graded as a sprain, but hey, the man threw 6 innings and may have had some fatigue, right? He threw a pitch very, very fast and hard, and as he was stepping back, he kind of stepped in his hole, if you know what I mean, on the mound where his foot lands, and he ended up looking like an awkward giraffe that was just born. I mean, his leg went over, and he was immediately removed from the game. So, look, facing the Cubs in Chicago is a daunting thing. Facing the Cubs when they're playing well in Chicago, that's another thing too. So, I don't know. This looks like it could be a little bit tough for Mizorowski, actually, and I want to be, kind of on with Mizorowski a little bit. I think he's going to be great, but on the road against the Cubs, Tyone, he's got a 3.48 ERA, a 2.12 BABIP, really solid numbers for Tyone, considering he's 7-3. The Cubs are 8-6 with Tyone on the mound, but he's got a WHIP under 1. And, he's been good. He's been fine, right? He's not pitching terribly here. Let's look at some of the numbers of these two. Like I said, this one we talked about yesterday, so I don't know if we're going to have to go too deep into this one, but Milwaukee's won 13 of their last 20. They've won 6 of their last 8 on the road. The Cubs are on a 3-game winning streak right now, actually, following their win over Milwaukee 2 nights ago, and they beat Pittsburgh 3 out of 4 as well. 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Cubs have gone under in 8 of their last 9 at home. 9 of the last 10 have gone under between the two teams overall, and Milwaukee's gone under in 4 of their last 5. Cubs have gone under in 5 straight. Hey, a little bit of a breaking move here right now. The steam's coming in on the game we just talked about. I told you there was some steam there, and it's on the over between the Cardinals and the White Sox. We had already mentioned whatever it was, 8 or what I say, 9 under there with St. Louis and Chicago. Oh, this one's actually on game 2. The steam is coming in on the over in the game between McGreevy and Vassell. So steam to the over there in that one as well. So I think that would, let me make sure of this, but steam has come in on the over on both games between St. Louis and the White Sox here today. So just making note of that. Okay, I'm going under in this one with Mizorowski and Tyone today. Interestingly, I did have this one penned yesterday as a premium pick on the over there at Tony's Picks, but with the change, if you will, in the weather, I'm going to end up on the under in this game as my pick here with Milwaukee and Chicago. Let's take a look at the overall. We are in Chicago after all. We're going to have to peek at the weather for sure. Here we go. Oh, whoops. Make sure I get it right. You guys are already telling me. Wind is blowing in 4 to 6 miles an hour, and temperatures in the mid to high 70s today. So give me the under here in this one with Milwaukee and Chicago. Good pitching matchup. The chat is in as well from the chat all-stars. Hello to Abel today. He's got the Dodgers in this one between Milwaukee and Chicago. He says Dodgers for the sweep. I'm not going to address it right now because I'm on tilt in that series for sure. Gorky says take the Tigers and the Jays on the money line. Nuke likes the Cubs here. Gorky says Jays or Giants. Blues on the Brewers. Cash Kane on the Brewers on the money line. Nuke says that Mizorowski is going to get bumped here for Peralta today. He says that they'd rather go with Peralta here. All right. Well, I gotta respect Bet365, but I feel like this is going to be a Mizorowski start now after the game was rained out yesterday. Peralta was the original scheduled pitcher today, but with the game rained out, usually teams will just move the starters back here, so Mizorowski still gets his turn in the rotation, and Peralta, I don't think they would switch these two right now, but we'll take it with a grain of salt there from what I'm saying, with Nuke saying that the starting pitcher here should be Peralta and not the rookie Mizorowski. All right, Fernando's on the under here, and Justin says he's got the Brewers here in this one. I don't know if the pitching information that Nuke has brought us will. I'm going to have to go into the little bit of a detail here to see why they've scratched Mizorowski here. I'm worried now. Like I said, he is coming in off of that sprained ankle, or I say a sprained ankle, but all right. Okay, not seeing any I'm not seeing any information that said that they would switch the. But hey, they're probably not even awake yet. All right. Yeah, I'm not seeing any change in the rotation here for these guys. All right, I can't stay around too long trying to figure this one out. So proceed with caution then, folks. If there is going to be a pitching change here today with the Brewers, still get a pretty decent pitcher, obviously, in Peralta. And that would be actually a surprise to me. And Spoon's also showing Peralta here. So real interesting that they would switch these guys up right now. Hey, you could use another day off for Mizorowski here, maybe with that sprained ankle. It really gives you 2 days off there. All right. Oh, well, now Nuke says CBS is showing. Who are these guys? CBS and Andrew's on Milwaukee here. And Justin said, "Look, I'm specifying Mizorowski here." All right. Let's continue on then now, shall we, and move on to Kansas City taking on Texas here. You've got Waka going up against Armstrong, and you've got Texas favored minus $1.20. The total 8.5 under at minus 120 here in this one for Kansas City here right now. They come in 2 games under 500. The Rangers are 2 games under 500. Both teams 36 and 38, but it's the Royals that have won the first 2 games of the series, 6-1 and 6-3. Doing a nice job here, and looks to me like the Royals might have a little bit of the pitching advantage here in this one as well. Now, pardon me. For Sean Armstrong here, inexperienced pitcher certainly, but is just kind of an opener here in this one for Texas today. He has pitched plenty. 30th appearance here for Armstrong, but just his second start. So just an opener here. Waka, 3.38, ERA, 1.2 whip, and a 250 batting average against. Kansas City's gone 5-8 to the under with Waka on the mound. And we know that, hey, another under there for Texas yesterday. They're now 10-28 to the under. I should say an over, actually. I guess the game did go over there at 6-3. So over number 10 in this one. Right down the line. I didn't even have it in there because of maybe a little bit of sketchiness in the Texas pitching plans, the way things are going. But hey, Texas hasn't been horrible. They've actually been pretty strong here of late. They're 7-3 in their last 10 overall. They're 23-15 at home. Still, Texas 24-49 to the under overall, and Texas has gone under in 9 of their last 13 games at home. For the last 6 meetings between these 2 teams have gone under here. Kansas City's actually lost 8 of their last 11 against the Rangers, although they've won the last 2. So Kansas City's lost 6 of their last 8 games. Coming into this one, let's go to the chat here in this one between Kansas City and Texas. Both teams have pretty weak offenses. We know that, averaging about 3.5 runs per game. But hey, they average allowing 3.5 runs per game. Here we go. In the chat, it's going to be Blue. I think he's on the under here. Cash Kane is on the Rangers. Justin says, got to keep rolling with these Royals here right now. 9 legacy, Royals for the sweep. And Robert says, Royals first 5. And Jermaine's going all Pac-Man up in here with the Rangers and the Royals. I got to go with the Royals in this one. Give me Kansas City to get this win today at even money or so. I'm going to take them to keep it going here right now. All right, next up, the Diamondbacks are at the Blue Jays with Ryan Nelson. He's going up against Kevin Gausman here in this one. You got Gausman. Pretty decent numbers here right now. Despite a 4.08 ERA, he does have a 106 whip and a 222 batting average against. And 265 BABIP. Got a little bit of a move here on a game that we haven't mentioned yet, but I'm seeing some steam just coming in here from the line service on the over in the game between the New York Mets and the Atlanta Braves here. This one, it looks like it's going to go up to 9 under tonight with Holmes and Strider. We're seeing steam to the over here in this one right now, Mets and Braves. Okay, for Nelson and Guzman here, you've got Nelson with a 4.14 ERA coming in, 1.1 whip, 217 batting average against, and 257 BABIP. Nelson's started just 5 times this season. This is his 16th appearance. Toronto did win the first 2 games of this series, 5-4 and 8-1. So Toronto's done pretty nice job here. I'd expect Gausman to get off to a pretty good start here in this game. And I think Nelson could actually counter early on for a little bit of a low-scoring game early. Now, both these teams kind of trend to the over for sure. Toronto is 23-13 to the over at home, and Arizona's 19-15 to the over at on the road. But Toronto's won 14 of their last 19 games overall. 6 straight meetings between these two teams have gone over, but interestingly enough, it's the last games in Arizona. They all went under. So Arizona's actually gone under in 5 straight games here until this series began, right? Let me make sure of this. Yeah, because both games went over. So anyways, Arizona's lost 6 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams, and Arizona's gone 0-5 in their last 5 games on the road. What it is Arizona's lost 5 straight times here in Toronto there. So Toronto's won 11 of their last 12 games at home. They're absolutely on a roll here right now, and it's been good times for the Blue Jays here, and they've totally turned it around. They even had a little bit of a losing streak before Arizona came to town. They're still 7 games over 500. Arizona comes in 36-37 here. Toronto currently at $1.40, maybe a little bit. Yeah, mostly $1.40. It feels like is a consensus number right now. I'm going to have to take the Toronto Blue Jays to win here over Arizona and keep this keep their winning ways going right now. Let's go to the chat. Justin's got Barger time. He likes Barger over 1.5 bases. Here's Blue Jays for blue. And Nuke says, got to take the Jays here. Could be some rain there, so maybe they're going to close the roof. Jays first 5 for Robert. 9 Legacy says take Arizona to get off the snide here. Gorky says more rain expected in Detroit. Oh no. Could we have our doubleheader rained out? Okay, let's continue on. A lot of games here today. Let's go with Cleveland and the Giants. Got Gavin Williams on the mound here going up against Logan Webb. For Williams in this one, he's got a 3.89 ERA, 1.4 whip, 293 BABIP. Williams is 5-3. so far this season for Logan Webb. He's 6-5 with a 2.58 ERA and a 1.12 WHIP. 325 batting average against here. Widely reported steam did come in on the over in this game. In fact, I might need to update that line. I think it's, mostly 7.5 under. Right now. So a little bit of a move to the over here with Cleveland and San Francisco, but yesterday's game was an under, right? You still have a decent pitching matchup, it feels like. Cleveland has won the first 2 games of the series here. They won game 1, 3-2. They won game 2, 4-2. Both games went under, obviously. Now you have the Giants here about $1.70 or so. That doesn't feel real comfortable, even with Webb, right? Yeah, Giants are 8 games over 500. Cleveland just a couple of games over 500, but Cleveland hasn't been, well, I don't want to say awful. They have lost 8 of their last 12, but obviously they were able to get the first 2 in this series, and they've won 4 out of their last 5 against San Francisco. Not only did San Francisco lose the first 2 games of this series, remember, but they were coming off a couple of losses to the Dodgers, but nonetheless, San Francisco has won 10 of the last 14 meetings between these 2 teams. Here in San Francisco, and although that does cover about 4.5 years of sample size, Cleveland's gone under in 13 of their last 16 games on the road. San Francisco's gone under in 5 of their last 6 games at home coming into this one. So, look, Cleveland played pretty decent so far in this series. Hey, on the run line, they are just minus $1.50. I think that sounds better than laying it with the Webb here. I don't know if I want to take the Guardians to win this one outright. Maybe I can sprinkle it, but I'm going to take the Guardians here on the run line today in this one. Give me Cleveland plus 1.5 against the Giants today. In the chat, we'll see what you guys have in this one. And it is Jerry says, give me the Giants and under in a parlay. Justin says, I'll take the Giants on the run line and lay it. Jermaine says, those lineups are starting to come out now. And Andrew's on the Guardians. All right. I think we're going to move to a little bit later in the day, some of the second games of the doubleheader. Now, these ones will be a little bit tougher, but I promise pick on every game. So Robert says take the Giants in the first 5. Okay, game 2 doubleheader here now in St. Louis and the White Sox with McGreevy here on the mound. And like I said, might be some hesitation here. You got Max McGreevy, or I'm sorry, Michael McGreevy. Who was Max McGreevy? Michael McGreevy here in this one, going up against Basil of the White Sox. Now we'll see what happens game 1. Remember, the White Sox are kind of on a losing streak here, no doubt. And with game 2 of the doubleheader, we'll see how thin things go. Remember, the steam's already come in on the over in both games. The line here in game 2 is a little bit off. I've got it at 8.5 over at minus 120. Yeah, not much value here, but $1.65 for the Cardinals on the road here in this one. Okay, look, I know the White Sox are awful and the Cardinals are above 500 right now, but well, we took the White Sox on the run line in the first one. Can we do it here also in game 2? I'm not so sure I can do it. I'll just take the over in game 2. The steam came in on the over. There's not much value there, but with couple, I don't know, shaky starters. Now, Vassell does have good numbers, a 1.99 ERA and a 3-2 record, but he's a reliever for the most part, so the White Sox will bullpen it up, and for the most part, now McGreevy has had ooh, boy, Some starts here, but .86 whip, pretty good numbers, but I'm sure he won't run too long into this game. Here comes some comments from the chat, kind of trying not to yawn my way through it. All right, here is Andrew. He's on the White Sox. Jerry likes the Cardinals on the run line. But Action Jackson says, I'll try the White Sox in game 2 on the money line. Cash Kane says, I'll go McGreevy over in his strikeouts. Blues on the over as well. And Justin will take the Cardinals in game 2 on the run line. I'll take the over in this one. All right, next up will be hopefully game 2. Like Gorky said, or was it Gorky who said, how about the rain in Detroit? Could it be more rain here in Detroit today that could ruin our plans? It is a pretty significant chance of rain throughout the first game, and we'll see if that affects the second game here as well. But first game had basically 50-60% chance of rain, and I guess if they're willing to hang out to play 2 games today, I would guess that they could hang out maybe till at least for a start time, 5 or 6 p.m. here, because look, this game 2 scheduled to start at 5:40 Eastern, 2:40 Pacific time. So if there's rain early on and they can't get them both in, it looks like they'll be willing to stick around here, because you'd have to make up 2 games later in the season. Remember, with interleague play, you only make 1 trip into the other team's city. So Pittsburgh and Detroit, they're not far away, but with Detroit an obvious contender here, if they were to get into some situation where they needed to play all of their 162 games to determine their playoff position, they'd have to host Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh would have to come in. The burden would be on them, but all right, let's see what you got here, though, in this one with Pittsburgh. I don't think Detroit, can I even list a pitcher here in the Detroit game for game 2? What do they have? Okay, Keter Montero. Could Keter Montero be the expected starter here for Detroit in game 2? There we go. Let's pencil it in here. All right. There we go. That looks like an approximate line here in this one. And let's see what we got here. We know what we get, certainly, with Paul Skeens, and he's favored $1.40 here in this one. Total currently at 7, and maybe it opened a little bit higher, but with it being game 2 on the rocks here, and not much going on as far as line movement, it feels like, is concerned so far. Some comments coming in here. Spoon says, hey, all right, he's got cards in game 1. I'm on cards -1 in game 2. Oh, thank you, Spoons. I read that incorrectly there. He likes McGreevy in that one. And that might be it. Game 2 of the doubleheader. Going to be a little bit rough here, I think, from you guys. So I'll try to make my call here in this one. And I'm going to take Pittsburgh with Paul Skeens on the road here against the Tigers in game 2. I'll just be square and take the man. All right, the Blues on the under in game 2. Let's keep it going right now, shall we? And get to the Phillies taking on the Marlins here. In this one, you've got Christopher Sanchez going up against Eduardo Cabrera here tonight. With Billy on the road, going to be a pretty significant favorite here at $1.45 or so. That's a lot cheaper than that original price there. A lot cheaper, right? Look, Bryce Harper still not back just yet, but man, that's a big discount with Philadelphia here. I'll call it $1. Maybe I could call it $1.50, but even that looks like a little high. Mostly $1.45s here right now, and the total 7.5 over at -120, I'd say, because I also see an 8 under out there right now. Let's see what you guys want to do. Sanchez has a 3.05 ERA coming into this one. Cabrera's got, okay numbers here, 4.1 ERA. 1.46 whip, but a 331 BABIP. Both these guys have kind of rugged BABIPs coming in. The widely reported steam, though, obviously came in on Miami to drive this price all the way down. Philly's starting to heat up here a little bit. They were able to get that win there yesterday, 4-2, after losing game one of the series 8-3. So let's see what you guys have tonight with Philadelphia and Miami. Philadelphia's won 4 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams, despite the fact they've gone 2-6 in their last 8 games on the road. Miami's gone just 1-6 in their last 7 games overall. So let's see here. 7 of the last 9 games between these two teams have gone over. 7 of the last 10 here in Miami have gone over, but Miami's gone under in 4 of their last 5 games overall. Coming into this one, let's go to the chat and see how you guys have it here with Philly and Miami. And we'll start it off here with, Jerry took the Tigers team total under in game number 2. Thank you, Blue, for being here today. Cash Kane is on the Marlins. Jerry says run line for Philly and the under. And let's see, Action Jackson went under in that Detroit game with Skeens, I think. And he's going over here in this one with Philly and the Marlins. All right, I think that's going to do it for me. I got to take the Phillies at this discounted price, I think, here at $1.50 or so. Man, that's a pretty good discount off of that early number here. Robert says, give me the Phillies in the first 5. Minus a half a run. All right, we're making pretty good time here despite this big card. And next up, it's the Mets taking on the Braves here in this one with Grant Holmes. He's going up against Spencer Strider. Hey, that's a pretty decent pitching matchup, it feels like, between these two. For Holmes, comes in here with a 2.87 ERA. He's been quite the revelation. He's 7-3, and the Mets are 10-4 with Holmes on the mound. He's got a 1.17 whip and a 2.32 batting average against. For Spencer Strider, hey, he finally had a pretty good start, and it was impressive. He's just 1-5 with a 4.35 ERA, but you got to think that maybe Strider found it last time. Now, the widely reported steam has come in on the Braves here. There's still $1.30, maybe $1.35 in this one, and the total in this one has dipped here to 8.5 over. It was a little bit higher, but we'll see what you got, man. I mean, you got I would say decent pitchers. I'm almost willing to throw out the start that Strider has had here because, he was on the comeback trail a little bit and he started off 0-5, but did get the win last time. Now the Mets are on a losing streak. For sure here, lost 5 in a row. They've also lost 6 of their last 7 to Atlanta, as Atlanta is trying to make this. This feels like, I don't want to say the time is now. I mean, there's still 90 games left in the season, but the Braves are starting to make their move a little bit, having won 5 of their last 6 games here right now, including the first 2 of this series here. They won game 1 5-4 and won last night's game 5-0 with great pitching effort last night by Chris Sale, who was mowing them down. Sale's been on fire here right now what they say is a 1 ERA in his last 5 or 6 starts. So, yeah, Spencer Strider's not quite Chris Sale, but we know Strider's all-star caliber, and Holmes has been pretty great too. It feels like so far this season. So let's see what you guys have, though. Can they keep it going here? And the Mets struggling with this team. Mets have gone under in 13 of their last 18 games on the road. 8 of the last 12 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Let's go to the chat here right now with these two and see what you got. All right. Let's see. 9 Legacy. What is he saying here? Giants money line, Paul Skeens money line, Cardinals money line, Philly in the second game, and the run line. I think that's what that says. Sorry, 9 Legacy, if I screwed that up. And Jerry talking about that Philly Miami game. Thank you, Jer. He says, in this one, though, got to take a shot on the Mets here. He says that Lindor and Nimmo have good BVP. And I was saying on the show last night that I was on with on the Nuke the House channel that I'm a BVP truther. So if you know what BVP, batter versus pitcher statistics, I love those stats, and I subscribe to them pretty heavily because I think that the ultimate mind game is batter versus pitcher, right? It's always, when the batter goes up there, it's what did I see last time from this guy, and in what order am I going to get the pitches here today? Nuke is on the Mets. Spoon says Strider maybe not showing quite what we're needing from him here. Justin says he's got the Mets right now in this one. Jermaine says, Jermaine, he is always about the spots, so he's going to be concerned on getaway days. Justin says, my Braves are going. Justin says, here come my Braves, but it sounds like he likes the Mets here because he says, just not today. Robert's on the under here in this one with Holmes and Strider. And I'm going to agree with Robert. Give me the under here in this one as my play here on the show. I got to like what I'm seeing right now. I think Strider is a little bit on the comeback trail. Holmes has good numbers. Hey, the first game did have 9 runs, and it did sneak over, but yesterday was an under. And if you look at the Braves, they still are 12-21 to the under at home. The Mets is an underdog. They're 4-16 to the under. Although it is a situation here where they have gone over a few more games here of late. All right. Oh, Jermaine says now that Mizorowski will not be star. Okay, Jermaine, I got you. I'm going to look one more time here. I haven't, like I said, I was just trusting you guys there in that one. But are we getting the news now that Mizorowski will not get that start? I'm still not seeing it, you guys. Oh, I wish I had better info. Okay, we do see it now. Okay, yeah. Just in here right now. Good call there by Jermaine. But it will be Freddie Peralta getting the start here for sure, it looks like right now, and no Mizorowski day today. So let's make the adjustments accordingly here. I went under in that game. I'll go ahead and stick with it. It is my free play here, but a little bit of a situation here. It will be indeed, just like you guys called it there. Some of you saying Peralta would get the start, and I think we're starting to see it officially here right now. Just announced within the last 5 or 10 minutes, apparently, that it will be Peralta. Like I said, maybe just in terms of not talking about the prediction of the game here, but no doubt maybe Mizorowski, because of that ankle turn, I'll call it, could use another day. All right. Gorky's got some Lithuanian basketball here. Whenever I think of Lithuanian basketball, I think of Tony Guoga. Remember, he kind of bought the team, bought the international team anyway. All right. And Spoons has some analysis here of sample size and regression. And he says he is not a BVP truther there. So I think we disagree on, or he might be saying just the law of averages there, maybe, right? I do agree. But I would say this: a guy who's 4 for 5 BVP is more likely to go to have the mental advantage over a guy. So instead of falling all the way back to the means, I would say that his chances of keeping his average above his I won't say his career averages or season averages, but just ahead of the game there, right? We know that no matter how you look at the average batter is going to, 250 or whatever, right? So, okay, let's see here. And Fernley, just with a win, I finally picked one up here. Fernley over Mute there. And Gorky says he's got Germany and women's basketball, and he's got the Blue Jays on the money line. Belo's here today, says Rublev screwed him over there in that matchup. All right. Looking at some of the scores here right now. Jerry says he needs double-digit at-bats. A lot of times, guys will never even face each other that many times. So to me, though, it's because you're always thinking, and if you're guessing wrong. All right, Belo's got Rublev in the match. Spoon says after 25 at bats, he'll give it some value, and there was a Spoons. That just shows Spoons is a terrific analyst. He basically doesn't use BVP, because most matchups will never reach 25 at bats. All right, Nimmo home run for Cash Game today. Jerry says, yeah, he kind of is a BVP guy. So, yeah, I think when you have it over on a guy, to me, it's the ultimate mind game. Okay. I went with the under in that one between the Mets and the Braves. We got just 3 more here to go, and everyone loves to go against Charlie Morton, don't they? But you know what? Charlie Morton's been a little bit better of late. Everyone, he's got a 6 ERA. I can't sit here and tell you that Charlie Morton is going to find the fountain of youth, but maybe he's pitched just a tad bit better of late. Still 3-7 with a 1.65 WHIP and a 283 batting average against a 354 BABIP. Tampa Bay exploded for those runs yesterday, didn't they? I mean, they were the score was 8-0, and I was on the air with Holden, and I said, boy, Tampa had just started to come back. I think it was 8-3. And I said, boy, this looks like the spot now that I want to get on. And boom, they got 2 more runs. I couldn't even get the bet in at that time. But I was able to get it in at plus 4 runs, and that was easy pickings there with the Rays getting the win eventually over Baltimore. Pretty demoralizing, it feels like, for the Orioles. They fall to 11 games under 500. The Rays continue to play pretty well right now in their little streak. Tampa here is $1.35 or so. This number on the screen is actually a little bit too high. The move has come in on Baltimore here. I don't want to say it got steamed, but I wouldn't be surprised if the line service chimes in here a little bit in the next couple of minutes, because I'm showing the screen lighting up here. It's all the way down to $1.25 at a book here in Vegas that deals uh, $1.24 at Circa right now. So big discount here on Tampa Bay today. I haven't really seen anything from the injury report, but man, that was the Rays' largest comeback last game since 2012. They had lost 81 straight when trailing by 8 or more runs. It was their first home win when trailing by 8 or more runs in franchise history. They were 0-116 before that. For the Orioles, it was their second loss when leading by 8+ runs in the last 50 years. They were 445-1 when leading by 8 or more runs over the last 50 years, and they had won 62 straight games when leading by 8 or more runs. I got to take Tampa Bay. I got to take Tampa Bay if they're going to be down to $1.25 or $1.30 right now. Oh man, those are some crazy numbers. What a crazy comeback. So all of a sudden, I'm glad I won that live bet. Man, those are some crazy numbers. Okay, here we go. Maybe some picks from you guys here in this one. Let's see. Jerry Davis says, give me the Rays there, but go with maybe Morton's K's in that one. Justin's got the Orioles here with Morton there, but definitely lost about. But look, hey, Justin, he's kind of a CLV type of man, right? And he's going to get some value out of that one. Nuke says he just can't do it. Nuke says he's got Morton as an auto fade. So give me the Rays on the money line. I think Nuke meant to put in minus $1.45, but it's definitely lower than that because of this move. It's at least a dime lower, it feels like. Robert's on the Rays first 5 here. Cash Kane, Rays money line and over. Oh, Nuke meant run line there. He likes him on the run line over Baltimore. Yeah, they still covered the run line yesterday too, right? Despite that. Oh, should not hesitate to mention Drew Rasmussen here, right? One of the most solid pitchers so far in the league this season. 2.55 ERA and a 208 batting average against. Pretty good numbers for sure for Rasmussen and for the Rays. I mean, they've won 5 of their last 6. They've won 14 of their last 17 at home. Remember, they were kind of struggling at their makeshift home there in the beginning of the season, but man, they've kind of turned it around here for sure. They're 25-21 at home, 23-15 as a favorite. Baltimore was hot. Remember, they've won 12 of their last 18 games here, but yesterday, El Collapso, 9 Legacy says Devil Rays on the run line. Spoons is on the Rays here. He'll lay a run just in case. And Baltimore, having lost 4 out of their last 5, the one game they did win was game 2 in this series, 5-1. But game 1 was a victory for Tampa, 7-1. So they've won 2 of the 3 games here and kind of have their number. I'm going to take Tampa at this. This is a discount, no doubt. This one opened as high as $1.50, $1.57 at DraftKings, and now at $1.37. That's a 20-cent discount. I got to take the Rays after what we saw there yesterday. A couple more here. Astros taking on the A's, and I whiffed on this one. I was trying to go with the Athletics, and I even said, and how many times have I been on the over with the Athletics at home? I embarrassed myself over there on that other channel going with the A's and the under yesterday. But, hey, in baseball you do some things sometimes you regret. Houston comes in, though, here at $1.25, $1.30. The total, 10.5 under. Yesterday was 9.5, and I'm not one of those the line tells you what you need to know type of things, but we really haven't seen totals at 9.5. I don't say I was fooled in that game. I mean, the pitching matchup was, I guess, okay in that game, right? It was Valdez, and I don't say Severino's any good, but remember, he is kind of the high-priced A's pitcher, right? So, got fooled on that one. See if I could fix it here anyway with the A's. They've won the first 2 games here of the series, 13-3, or the last 2 games of the series. It's 2-1 right now, but the Astros have scored 24 runs over the last 2 days. After scoring just one run in game 1, so they're enjoying the warmth of Sutter Health Field. Houston's won 5 of the last 6 meetings between the 2 teams. They've won 7 of their last 8 right now. I have the Astros here. Got a pair of left-handers going. Or no, actually, Gordon is going for the Astros, but I think, let me see here. Is it Lopez? Okay. Lopez, yeah, I think it is Lopez. I was thinking that he could get an opener here, but I don't think so. Not against this lineup, right? I think it will be Lopez there getting the start. I say, oops. Oh, just looking it up here. I say getting the, Lopez has had a 9 appearances and 5 starts, 4.8 ERA, 1.5 the WHIP. Both these guys kind of gaudy numbers here a little bit. So I don't know. I'm probably not going to take an under again with these two, I feel like. Let's go to the chat, though, at least, and see what you guys have in this one. With Houston on the road here, I probably won't make that same mistake again, but I've had my share of good games taking the A's a little bit. I think maybe I've gotten kind of lucky on them. It feels like Kelly's here today. All right. Kelly says got series winners. She'll take Baltimore. Let's see. Series winner covers the run line. Baltimore, Tampa Bay series. I don't know if I follow that. Jerry says Fernley was able to get that cover, but Morozen lost. Oh, man, I lost with Morozen too. And I didn't give out FAA, but I had them too, Jerry. I'm having a little bit of a rough day over on the courts again. Oh, no. Caminero home run here for Jermaine, and Justin says he'll take Altuve for an RBI. We saw Altuve go deep there yesterday as part of that. And, yeah, you're right, Kelly. We were on that. We were on the athletics situation there early. And, hey, if we take an under here and there, we're not going to be losing any money. It feels like we, I kind of fall into the situation sometimes where I just keep rolling with it. And we've done that with the over. They're 24-14 of the over at home. Even Justin gets embarrassed of the pick now and then, right? Hey, when we pick so many games, Justin, it's going to happen. Here's Kelly liking the run line with Houston today. Nuke says it will be Lopez, it looks like. Houston team total over for Jermaine. Cash Kane says Astros money line. Robert's on the Astros. Spoon says the Astros are number 1 against lefties. Take them here. Jermaine says don't go under unless, I don't know who's going to have to pitch here for the A's. Vita Blue. Catfish Hunter, maybe. Who else would you throw in there? What A's legendary pitcher could come in and make it under here? It'd have to be Nolan Ryan against Catfish Hunter, or maybe J.R. Richard could come in here for the Astros there. Who else were some great Oakland pitchers from back in the day, or even in the modern day? Remember those teams in the 90s? They had some good. Raleigh Fingers could come in relief, though. Spoons, Raleigh was a reliever, but got the curly Q mustache. Trying to think of those teams in the 90s. Help me out, gang. If who were some of the pitchers in the 90s with the Bash brothers? Who was pitching then for the A's? Could have Eckersley come in, but again, he's another reliever. Although Eckersley did start along quite a bit, and by the time he had ended up in Oakland, he was a reliever. But he did do some starting, right, with Boston there. Oh, of course, Nuke. How could we forget Justin, right? Dave Stewart. Hi, I'm Dave Stewart. Dave Stewart with one of the more embarrassing uh, situation. We're here. I think Belo's laughing at my Dave Stewart imitation there. And I don't know. I think some of my old timers there, like Nuke and Justin, might remember that Dave Stewart. He got caught one time getting a little, let's just say, oral pleasures in the back of a car one time. But unfortunately, uh, for Dave, the person performing the act was on the same team, if you know what I mean. Whoops. She looked cute. He looked cute. Anyway, you could research that story, but didn't mean that Dave Stewart wasn't dominant on the mound. All right, let's move on. Oh, I gotta make a pick. I gotta make a pick here in this one with the Astros. I gotta take the Astros right now. It looks like the A's are broken here. We know the A's are broken, but Astros are starting to make a little bit of a move here. Finally, it feels like right now, man, 12 games over 500. Seems like they've put it together here with this good, strong run right now. And I don't know, are we getting I want to say the old Astros a little bit, but they've won 7 of their last 8 games here right now, and that's pretty good. Oakland's gone over in 13 of their last 25, and the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Spoons likes the curly Q mustache. And there's Nasty Nate. Gonna hit you with Justin says she was a he. All right. Well, all right. Let's get to the last one. I don't want to get to the last one. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk. Maybe I'll just sit here in silence and let you guys put in a bunch of comments. I'm gonna Steam play. Let's see what the Steam move is here coming in. All right, we got a Steam move coming in right now in the game between Kansas City and Texas. Hearing some Steam right now coming in on the under. You just heard the line service. Send it out. When you hear it, right, everybody kind of makes fun when Mikey's Steam play. I subscribe to I subscribe to both major line services, Don Best, Sports Insights. Not for everybody. Some people use like Unabated. There are some other services out there where you can pay for the line. There are plenty of free line services. They're just as solid, I think. But I like uh, usually those other lines are maybe kind of on the delay a little bit, but these come through pretty fast. So right now, Kansas City and Texas, we're seeing a Steam move here on the under right now. Right now, we're seeing it go to 8.5 under 25, and we could see this one go as low as 8 between Kansas City and Texas here with the move to the under here right now. Okay. San Diego and the Dodgers. I was all over the YouTube yesterday telling people these Padres are broken. There's problems within the lineup. And they looked like it again yesterday. They were in the game for sure. Lost the game 4-3, but they've lost 4 straight now to the Dodgers. The Padres probably in their biggest slump of the season here. They did have one a little while ago that was nearly as poor, but they've lost 6 of their last 7. They've lost 7 of their last 8 to the Dodgers. I don't see much hope in this team actually right now. I think they're going to fall short of the postseason unless they can fix this. Now, I'm not a panic type of guy, but when you have the Giants, starting to, it's mostly the Dodgers just pulling away, but still, you have the Giants now ahead of the Padres and some of the other teams in the National League, like Justin's Braves, right? Whatever happens in that division, you got obviously a couple of teams, 3 teams maybe that, also can jump up right there and get a wild card here at the end eventually too. So just seeing a little bit of a threat here right now, especially with you know the Phillies playing well. Now the Braves got their work cut out for them for sure because of their still well under 500, but hey, they can easily get back in this race if that pitching stays a little bit healthy. It gets healthy, it feels like, with the way we saw Strider, with Sale cruising here. But San Francisco's 3.5 games out. The Padres are now 5 games out, and they're only 6 games over 500. So when you got, the Phillies in wild card contention, obviously the Brewers are going to be in contention for the wild card now, and even the Reds are playing pretty well. The Cards, even though they're feels like they're fading a little bit, but I'm frustrated. All of the Padre fandom is right now, mostly because can't beat this $10 billion team here. So now I did lose yesterday. Actually, I took the Dodgers on the run line. So anyways, for the Padres here, you got Bergert. He's a stopgap situation. The Padres hoping to get healthy in the starting pitching department. Maybe that will help. Try to get Darvish going. But think of the other guys that have been, they haven't even had a guy like Musgrove in here this year. Yamamoto comes in with a 2.64 ERA, 195 batting average against, and a 255 BABIP. Now, Berger's numbers so far have been kind of off the charts. He's looked really good, but maybe once teams see him type of situation a little bit, if you want to talk about the old regression to the means, that's what I feel like probably with Bergert here. Still, pretty big price. The Padres have been pretty popular actually with the public in these last couple of games because the Dodgers have had, such a high line. And that's what it is here again today at 250 here. That's probably kind of why I was on them, on the Dodgers on the run line yesterday. Total here, 9 under 20. The Padres showed life there in that last game. In the 9th inning, they picked up a couple of runs to cover that run line, but let's see how you have it. Can the Padres really get to Yamamoto here and do anything against them right now with this team struggling like it is offensively? That was clutch to get those 2 runs. They almost won the game. Dodgers have won 6 of their last 7 at home. They've won 5 straight overall, and Padres here, like I said, struggling right now. 7 of the last 10 meetings, 8 of the last 12 meetings between the two teams have gone over. Padres have gone over in 4 of their last 5. Dodgers have gone over in 7 of their last 10. But the Padres, as an underdog, are 12 and 23 to the under this season. Let's go to the chat and see how you can play this one with my Padres. All right. Spoons, that's funny. That is funny. All right. Let's see here. Padres. Justin's still going to take him here and probably should. I mean, even I should be probably taking him here. He probably should have done it yesterday. They were able to get that run line, and maybe I should today. Yeah, look, Jerry's doing it. So still, you can take him. Yamamoto hasn't been perfect. The Padres have some success against Yamamoto here, even Manny here with some decent numbers. You've got Tatis, a couple of hits off of him as well. 9 legacy, Padres money line, Astros run line. And Kelly says, do you really want to go and get winners, cover the run line in the series? I think is what Kelly's saying. And Jermaine says he has to do a deep dive on every team's beat writer. Jermaine, here's what you do. The way I have it set up now, I have one column on my tweet deck over here. So sometimes when I'm, able to see it right away, talk about like these pitching changes. So right over here to my left, is one of my tweet decks, and I have another one, and I have columns like lined up on the computer. And one column is for beat writers, and what I do is I try to be solidly objective and making sure I choose legitimate, beat writers for each team. And then the only thing that comes in on that column are tweets from beat writers. And, they're not out there putting out, here's my cat, or anything. You just get solid information in those. And sometimes you can get the good information that you need right away. All right, Robert's on the Padres on the run line. And Jerry says, right, the $10 billion team there with the right, Jerry. I already got it confused with the Lakers and the Dodgers. Feels like the Dodgers are worth $10 billion. Okay, Dodgers on the run line though for Trevor. Okay, I'll do it. I'll just take the Padres, you guys, on the run line. They got it yesterday. This is kind of a ridiculous price, but I'm not real thrilled about it. That's it for baseball, you guys. Thank you very much. And the show's almost over here right now. Really thank you for joining me here on the morning steam today. We've got some action in the WNBA. 2 games today here in the WNBA with Phoenix taking on the Liberty here. The line has actually gone down from this price here. Got the Liberty back down to 10.5, maybe some 11s out there right now in this one, and the total is up to 164 on that widely reported steam that we mentioned just as we were coming on the air here. But why would this game go over here? I mean, you're going to be asking the Liberty here to score almost 90 points against this improved Phoenix team. Phoenix has a pretty good record right now. They're 8-4. New York comes in 10-1 right now, 4-2 against the spread at home. Phoenix 7-5 against the spread overall. Phoenix is on the back-to-back, so that could be a bit of a factor, I guess, for everyone. But with this line increase, look, Phoenix is 0-3-1 to the under on the road. Meanwhile, New York is 2-4 to the under at home. Phoenix is one of the better teams right now in the WNBA. If you want to call it maybe a fluke, that's okay. So far, they're 8-4, doing a pretty good job. It does feel like the team is, they're actually 9-4. I forgot last night's win, right? Got to count that one. Yeah, it was against the Connecticut Sun, and they didn't cover the spread, but they were beating them up pretty much all the way. So let me change that, though. That means they are actually 7-6 against the spread. Still, Phoenix has been one of the most improved, or well, let's just say they revamped the roster for sure. I mean, they, Griner left for Atlanta. They've had some changes on this team, but they've been doing a nice job. They're 6-4 in their last 10 against the spread overall. So Phoenix is 1-4-1 to the under as an underdog as well. So I'm going to stick with the under here. In fact, I'm getting more points now to a little bit of a cushion here on this under. I'm not buying the move here at this point. Sure, the Liberty are pretty great here, but they're not going over necessarily. They're 6-5 to the over, but like I said, at home they've been going under more with a decent defense. They're great overall. I mean, they're the number 1 team in the league here, along with Minnesota right now. Maybe you have the Liberty ahead of Minnesota, but I don't know if you really can put them. It just seems like those 2 teams are not far and away, but clearly the best 2 teams, right? Maybe you want to put the Fever in there. Remember, it's the Fever that will actually go to the Commissioner's Cup final because of that win that they had over the Liberty to take that Eastern Conference spot. Okay, I'm going to go under, though, in this one. Look, it's even up to 164.5 here at some spots. And look, got to respect what the Liberty have done so far. They're obviously favored here by almost a dozen points. It opened as low as 10.5, went up to 12 or so, maybe even 12.5, and then back down here right now. So I'm going to take the under here in this one now that it's up to 164. Yeah, I'm going to take the under with Mercury and Liberty. And let's see here. We got a few folks with the plays. And Justin says, Justin just sharing some numbers there with Kelly. Thank you. Justin's on the Mercury here in this one, plus the points. Like I said, they're on the back-to-back, but, there was, I'm not saying any game's easy, but they were playing Connecticut yesterday. They did not cover. They were never really threatened, though, it felt like. And Jerry here talking college baseball. We're going to talk about it a little bit there. After that incredible game, we're going to talk about the College World Series. And let's just do it. There's no games, so Jerry's here to say it. So obviously, without Arkansas there, LSU advances to the championship series to play Coastal Carolina. Interestingly enough, I did take LSU, nothing against Jerry here, and Arkansas was great too. And what a game, right? With all those runs in the 8th and 9th inning. I gave out the over, and I was like, well, this one's not going too well for the over. And then all those runs came in and went 6-5, squeaking over by a half a run. And but I went with LSU back in the Super Regionals to win the championship because my 4 other. It's not like I'm saying, hey, I have LSU to win the national championship because my other 4 picks had already gone down throughout the season and postseason. I started the season with Texas A&M as my pick, then moved to some other teams, and basically I've lost 4 futures plays before I landed on LSU, and I only have them at 5-1. But at the start of the College World Series, after the 8 teams were in, I said, I'm going to take Coastal Carolina as another bet. So I've ended up here with Coastal and LSU. I will win more on Coastal. If LSU wins, I'll only basically finish, since I only got them at 5-1. And, I did kind of bump up the play a little bit. If LSU wins, I'll only make a slight profit covering those other futures that lost. If Coastal Carolina wins, I'll double the money from the futures bets that I made. So I'm in a no-lose situation, but Coastal would be a better return for me there. LSU wins will just barely be 1 unit. Okay, let's see what else we got. Velo here. Oh, Velo, nice to have you. Thank you for your support of me here on the Sports Money Network. It's got AT there. Guess that's it from you guys in this one. I'll take the under again with Phoenix and the Liberty. All right, next one. Let's go to it. As the Fever are in action tonight, and they're taking on the Valkyries. And, Caitlin Clark obviously is a very big draw. Every city she goes to, pretty much the other team sells out the game. We know that the WNBA doesn't sell out every game here, but they're doing pretty good this year attendance-wise. Still, it's pretty much wherever Caitlin goes, the fans will follow. But in this one, the fans will already be there. The Valkyries practically have sold out nearly their entire season tickets so far this year. So they won't need Caitlin necessarily to pump them up to get this crowd fired up here. And, they're just it was a can't miss putting a team in San Francisco for women's basketball. That's for sure. With the demographic there, this was a no-brainer. And this team is going to be the program already, the front office to the coaching, and this thing looks right on here with Golden State. Now, granted, The Fever are big 11-point favorites here. Clark is back. They're on fire. They're looking good. But Golden State's been one of the biggest, best pleasant surprises so far this season. Indiana's only 6-5. Now, granted, they went 2-3. I think was it 2-3 without Clark. Was it 2-4? Whatever the case may be, they did have some struggles without Clark. They won a couple of games without Clark, but to be favored here by 11 against the Valkyries team that is one of the best spread teams in the league so far. They're 5-6 straight up, but they're 4-1 against the spread at home so far, and they played very, very well. Now, they have been affected by the defections for the Euro basket action here of late, but like I said, I think this team and this front office, look, it's not like they call the coach the next day and say, hey, by the way, I'm going to miss the game. They saw it coming, so they've been able to piece some things in together. But you look at this lineup top to bottom, right? I mean, with Kayla Thornton, with Monique Billings, with Valerie Burton, it just feels like this team has been doing a great job. And now Carla Leite in there doing a great job as well. And Stephanie Talbot, too. This Valkyries team has done a very, very nice job. Now, I got to update the total here. I thought the steam came in. Yes, the widely reported steam came in on the under here in this one. It opened as low as 161.5, but now is up to 165. Look, I get it. Now, the Valkyries do have some offensive challenges for sure, despite the fact that, they've been doing such a great job covering and all that. But I don't know if the Fever, they're great. But I got to go under here at this number. It's moved even higher than this. Man, I've got the under here with Indiana and Golden State.
Final.
Look, the Fever are 0-4 to the under on the road so far. I know they're great, and that this team can score points, obviously, but I think it's just too high. Look, for a couple of days here, I went with a bunch of overs. I've been under most of the season for sure, but I went with a couple of overs, and all of a sudden it kind of snuck back on them a little bit. Fever are 2-6 to the under as a favor. When I say snuck back on them, I mean on me. I started to go over, hit a few winners on the over, and then all of a sudden all the games were going under again. So I think for me, I'm going to just take the under in this game. But can the Fever really be trusted against a Valkyries team that has been so solid against the spread so far this season? 7-4 ATS. They've been an underdog in every single game, have the Valkyries, and they've won 5 games straight up. So we know they've been kind of one of the best kept secrets in betting here right now. Velo does like the over, though, there. No problem. Justin says he likes the under as well with me. Jerry says Valkyries get the money and over. I think the thing is Valkyries, they're probably below average offensively. I think, is that fair to say? But they play pretty good defense too. Here's Valkyries for Robert. And Kelly says, look, Indy was going over at the end of last season. And will that start up again now that Clark is back in the lineup, right? Maybe some of that under, remember, because Indiana's 4-7 to the under. Velo says it's going to be, and it is, this is true. Look, Indiana's got great fan base, and they sell out because of Clark, right? It's kind of like the Iowa effect. Remember how awesome it was to go to those Iowa games. But you're going to start to see this if you haven't already. Those other teams have some great home crowds. WNBA fans are passionate, right? But this is something special going on at Golden State. Nuke says Valkyries plus 11.5. He says, what is a Valkyrie? A Valkyrie, Velo says it right here. A Valkyrie is kind of in Greek, in a Norse, I want to say mythology. I mean, we know the Norse were a thing, but it is a little bit of mythology here because you're talking about uh, Odin, right? So uh, the Valkyries were women who selected the men to go to battle, to go to basically to die. Basically, it's kind of like a, uh, uh, I don't want to say a representation of life, but the women would choose which warriors went to die in battle, something to that effect. Jerry says it will be a high scoring game there, 90 to 85. And Nuke says like Wonder Woman. No, I don't know if it was quite like Wonder Woman. But all right. Cash gained both favorites, and he likes under in both games. And Nuke, I don't know if he's singing the Eagles there, Witchy Woman, or something else. I guess that's it for the WNBA. There is some soccer act. Oh, I'm sorry. I got one more game to put up on the board. And I'm going to have to hold off here, I think, because I'm going to have a possible premium here in this one today. So just want to mention, though, the Alouettes are taking on the Elks. Here, I believe this is the Elks home opener in this one. You have Montreal. Nuke maybe Nuke's got the play for us here. Now I'm saving my plays here in this one today, so go ahead and maybe I can try to give out my favorite players in some props if you can get CFL. If you can get CFL props, but I think here in Montreal, look, I think it's going to be a pretty tough sledding here for Trey Ford. He did not look that good in that season opener against BC. He was 18 of 27. He had 242 yards of total offense, but not quite what you need from a guy like Trey Ford. And, well, who are they really going to be able to get the ball to? I mean, Gittins, obviously, but man, on Montreal right now, I mean, look, Alexander was awesome in that last game, 344 yards. Did have the one interception, but I think Alexander's been pretty good so far this season. And you've got Philpott. Did he come through last game? Probably not like you would have liked. 5 receptions for 42 yards, but I think Philpott scores a touchdown for the Alouettes. I also would like maybe Mac's chances to get the end zone. Mac was kind of the big player in the game over Ottawa. He had 5 receptions for 103 yards. He has not scored a touchdown yet, but maybe this time Austin Mac can find the end zone here for Montreal. Look, I think Edmonton, almost up and down the line, probably has the worst defense, here so far this season. And yeah, you can make a case for Saskatchewan. Their defense is pretty bad too, but it feels like Edmonton right now, to me, might have the worst defense, and I think Alexander can probably pick them apart here. Feels like. So I don't know. Feels like Montreal could, let me look at the line, make sure it's still 6. 6 and 48.5. We're right there right now. Let me go to the chat, see who's up here. Jerry's on the Elks here. Nuke's going with Montreal. Thank you, Justin. Justin, personal, I'm so happy. I want you to please follow through with the stuff over there with Tony. And who knows, maybe Justin and I can have a show together, huh? Maybe we could have a late night talk show, Justin, with sports and other stuff. But you were terrific yesterday on there. And I think everyone, all your fans were, we know you've done it before. I know, everyone, a lot of people were seeing you for the first time there on the air. We've seen you on the air on the other channels for sure, and been with you. But the group that we're with over there could really use someone like you, we know that you're going to be extremely consistent in doing this stuff, and you're the man, and I can't wait to do stuff with you there. Okay, that's going to be great. Okay, I see what you're saying there. I just want to make sure though that look, no problem if you didn't like the experience or if you thought it wasn't for you. It's not for everybody, that's for sure, right? Getting on, making picks, and in the tout world, right? Get a little bit of these pick sellers or whatever here. But you know what? The reason I do it, if you say, why is look, I'm 57 years old. Okay, I still look back at the days of the touts with kind of like a lore in a way. I like the screaming tout on TV and stuff like that. So, uh, I'm not looking to make a buck off of anybody. Hey, sure. I mean, do I want picks to be paid for by people who want to buy? Sure. I mean, I do a lot of work on it, right? But I think there's just some magic to it still in a way, right? We all want to find that. Hey, if I had a handicapper that was just giving me a bunch of winners, whatever, I'd probably hook up with them too and compensate them or something. But just want to see Justin do this, and it's going to be awesome. Okay, so I just want to say that to him, just in case he's getting cold feet or anything. I know Justin's not going to get cold feet, but okay, fella would listen to a show with Justin and Ramon, huh? How about it? And let's see here. AOD is here. Thank you, AOD, in the chat. All right. There. So, okay. So, man, I really want to make the call here on this one. And, man, I do want to do a premium here. So I'm just going to have to hold off in the CFL. But I think you guys heard what I was saying there a little bit on what I like, and I don't have a problem with that. Okay. Let's see here. So just want to touch real quick on the soccer today. I'm not going to have any picks, I don't think, here right now, but I'm going to send some out. So we're in action here in soccer. Okay, with also today with FIFA Club World Cup. Action gets underway at noon with Palmeiras taking on Al Ali, the Egyptian team there. Palmeiras is favored in that one by a goal. You've got Inter Miami tonight against Porto. How about that one? Porto is favored over Inter Miami in that one. But you know what? I think if Inter Miami, I'd probably rather take them as a dog than a favorite. Seattle is going to take on Atletico there. What a game that should be now. Atletico is favored by a goal and a half. So pretty big favorite over Seattle. But, you got to wonder if they could cover a goal and a half. And PSG is taking on Botafogo. They're favored by a goal and a half as well. I mean, there's some big favorites here, but I know these teams are. I mean, we know PSG is awesome, but look, like I said, in the FIFA Club World Cup, you got to wonder how motivated these teams are really trying to take this seriously here. Obviously, it's not going to be full steam ahead for some of these favorites, it feels like, but we'll see. Anyways, also CONCACAF World Cup, the real tournament, as I like to say right now. No disrespect, or maybe there is disrespect for the FIFA event, but you do have Haiti taking on TNT tonight, and Haiti will be favored by a goal over Trinidad and Tobago there in that one. And Haiti's actually been okay, but Trinidad and Tobago, they got blown out by the U.S. Maybe this one will be closer. Haiti's favored by a goal. And tonight, 9:15 Eastern, 6:15 Pacific, it's USA and KSA. Yeah, they're going to take on the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia here. USA favored by a goal. But look, playing Trinidad and Tobago is one thing. Not saying Saudi Arabia is great program either, but the way this USA team, hey, USA won. They got the money in that first game. They covered the handicap line. Good job, USA. It was a much needed victory that calmed. I don't know if it calmed everybody down just right now. The thing is, we don't want to overplay this stuff with the U.S. because, I mean, half the people don't even like soccer anyways. But for the soccer diehards, this has been misery with the United States team. The thing is, the people who are passionate about United States men's national team, hardcore soccer fans, right? Think of it in another country. I don't want to compare them to the great teams around the world. The Englands, the Germanys, the Italys, the Spain, whatever, whoever you got, Brazil, and Argentina. But um, our fans are passionate too. And when things are really going awry, these guys just want to, burn their scarves. So we'll see tonight, USA and Saudi Arabia. Can the USA? I'm going to be making some picks on this tournament for sure, and using them as probably some free plays over at Winnable, and maybe some subscription plays over at Winnable as well. So that leads into our commercial. Hey, you can get more plays from me here. This is how you support me here on the channel. For just $19.95 a month, that's 50 cents a day, you're going to get an update from me every day, and it comes in pretty clean, crisp, clear, concise format that you can easily see, and the plays come in. You can set your I'm going to even show them here right now. Let me see if I can do it. There we go. So look, the plays come in here on Winnable here. Look, there's my golf. You can go get my golf right now. The golf is underway today. There's my tennis. The tennis wasn't too great. These are the premium plays though, and this is how they appear. There's that Arkansas LSU from yesterday where we went with the over and got there somehow. There's our premium picks from baseball yesterday. We had a few winners in there, including the Rays yesterday. So looks just like this. I send out a couple of updates every day, and nothing. I don't have a bunch of pictures or emojis to distract you. I just send clean, crisp, clear, concise plays out on this service, and you can get it for $19.95 a month. And you see these VIP plays in here as well. These are the free selections right here. You see VIP. You can subscribe for free over there at winnable.com as well and get more picks from me. So please check me out there at winnable.com to get more plays from me for just 50 cents a day. Why not get an update from me, right? Not only one, usually two, maybe two premium updates. If it's a heavy card on the weekend, we got 3, maybe even 4. Free pick service there. Usually 1 a day right now. If it's heavier, we can send out 2. And I always got some overnight betting action that I like to get involved with. Usually right now it's been tennis. Sometimes if I have time, I'll go into some Asian baseball, and usually every weekend Australian rules football and maybe a little rugby as well. Laid off the Aussie game this morning with Essendon and Fremantle, but should have been on Fremantle for sure. They crushed Essendon today. So, and please, if you feel like supporting me here on the channel, this is how you do it, by going over to winnable.com and use a promo code, by the way. Use a promo code STEAM to save 20%. That's what gets it down to. It's actually under 50 cents a day, right? If you think about it there. So, hey, it keeps me here on the channel. If everyone cancels their subscription tomorrow, I'm going to go off the air here. So, hey, we got a few dozen of you right now subscribed, signed up. We got almost 4 dozen of you here right now. And not only that, there's over 200 subscribers to that free pick service. So that's really what makes me happy, knowing people are interested in getting the plays at 50 cents a day. It's really just about me doing the labor here. And hey, okay, there's a few dozen subscribers. Maybe there's a little income coming in for me to keep me going doing it. But hey, that's what it's all about. It's content, right? And I'm producing content. So please consider those subscriptions over at winnable.com from me. It comes right to your phone. Looks pretty crisp, clean, clear, and concise, and you can get it. Those updates here looks just like this right there, and you can subscribe Apple Pay, Google Pay. Why not get a weekend package from me? That'll get you my UFC picks here. If you subscribe today on Thursday, I'll extend it all the way through. Make sure you get all through Sunday, and even if you get the uh, uh, 5-day package over there, or the 3-day package over there, I'll extend it a couple of days. Anybody subscribes here right after the show, within the next few hours, I'll put on some. Everybody knows already. I already put on extra every time, pretty much. If you get a week, I usually put in 10 days. If you get a month, I usually put an extra week. I control it. I look at every purchase that comes in, and if you get, 3 days, I move it to 5 days. If you get 7 days, I'm moving it to 10 days. If you get a month, I'm putting it 5 weeks. That's the way I do it. I just want you guys to be a part of my program here over at winnable.com and the Sports Money Network. I call these my Sports Money Premiums. They're actually my best plays, other than here's how my program, Ramon, he's got 1 million picks, right? But I look at every game every day. So my absolute best plays are the ones right now at tonyspicks.com. These are my high roller, high leverage plays, if you will. These are the games that, look, we all like to bet. Sometimes we bet a lot of money. Sometimes my best plays, I bet the most money. And those plays are the plays over at Tony's Picks. Those are a little more expensive, if you will. And quite frankly, more should be bet on those games. Those are my absolute best, most confident plays. Those are followed by my Sports Money Premium Picks here, the ones that you get delivered to you on your phone or device. These are the games that I've already withheld. I know when I look and I'm hesitating and I'm hemming and hawing, I'm like, well, I can't pick, this team because I've already got that. That's my premium. I know that, and I'm not. Sometimes I give it out. Sometimes I say, you can hear it in my voice, oh, I like that team anyways, but I'm going to take the under. Something like that, right? So then I move to the free plays. I look at every game, and there are a few games on the list that never make it out there, right? I call those beta. I don't give it out on a show. I don't tout it on the subscription packages. But you know what? Sometimes I just bet it myself. For example, if I don't give out a play, you know what? I handicapped a total. I'm still going to throw a few bucks on it just to see if my handicap was right. I call that beta because I'm just testing to see if certain opinions or trends that I'm using are right. And hey, I want a little action on the game. Hey, Ramon, why do you sell your pick? Yeah, because I'm a degenerate and I got to bet on on a Major League Cricket, like I did the other night with the San Francisco Unicorns. And anybody watching the Major League Cricket this week? You know where they're playing the Major League Cricket? Major League Cricket is a short-term league, but everyone makes fun of the Oakland, the Sacramento, the A's over there in Sacramento. And I got breaking news here on that game in just a moment. But so the A's are playing in West Sacramento. Major League Cricket's played in Oakland this week. They're playing the tournament in Oakland, Alameda County Coliseum. So it's not like they've torn it down, that old relic of a stadium. But hey, without any baseball, and then they've been playing the cricket league there this season. So all these teams, it's not like they're traveling around. They're all playing in Oakland. Hey, right now, that steam play you just heard, it's on the under in the game between Houston and the Athletics today. Now, I might not fall into that trap, but the move is on the under in the game between Oakland and Houston. The total was 10.5. We know that, but right now it's down to 10 over 15 at BetOnline. It's 10 flat at Bovada. It's 10 over 17 at DraftKings. So look, same thing yesterday. In fact, I got chastised a little bit by Holden. He said, what are you doing going under? And he was right. It went over there yesterday as Houston blew him out, but someone's betting the over. Are the books just saying, hey, let's make it cool for everyone to bet the over. We'll just take off of a half of a run here so everyone can win. No, there's some significant money that are forcing the bettors. Maybe it could be an injury, but more likely the money in a game like this. So, maybe it gives a little value to the over players, whatever the case may be. You got to respect the moves there. I don't know if I can respect these moves in Oakland. All right, have I talked about everything that I wanted to talk about? Have you guys talked about everything you want to talk about and shared it with me? That's going to do it for the morning steam. Thank you, everybody, for AODs, loving the soccer. Thank you, as always, to Bobby Mack for help, for making sure we got some comments when I'm like desperate for the comment and I'm like, no one in the chat's commenting. I can always count on Bobby Mack to make sure we get a pick from the chat. I think he feels the call there sometimes, and I'm like, let me give me one play, anybody, and he'll come in and give us a play. So, okay, I guess that's it. That's it for the morning steam. I'll see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. Friday. Hopefully you're having a happy holiday today, and that you don't have to work there. I know it's not a holiday for everybody, but it is a federal holiday here today, so sure a lot of you are enjoying it. That's one great thing about the holidays that maybe aren't as I want to say popular, because it is somewhat of a popular holiday culturally in this country, but it's kind of snuck up on everybody too a little bit. Some people are like, wow, we get a day off, so enjoy. And don't forget, check out pre-gaming today, 6 p.m. Eastern and 3 Pacific. I do believe, I don't want to be wrong about this, but I do believe that the Sports Money Network has companion coverage tonight with the NBA game. I would imagine Razor and them will hook up for the game. I won't be here on this channel. I'll be on the Nuke the House channel. If you feel like coming over there for a little while, I wouldn't mind here, but I do encourage you to I will encourage you to be here on the channel. A little bit of breaking news here coming out right now. It looks like Kylian Mbappe will be missing the opening game of the Club World Cup for Real Madrid here. It looks like, is this new news here right now that Mbappe will be missing time here with gastroenteritis there. So he will, let's see, he missed the first one, right, on Wednesday, not feeling well there. And so we'll see his status moving forward. So they play, where's the schedule here? They play Pachuca on Sunday, but he has been hospitalized with his illness there. Just a tummy ache, hopefully, there for Mbappe, but that just in to us on the High Speed Sports Wire. All right, that's going to do it for sure. Thanks a lot, everybody. And for the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
Know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.